Hi crafty friends, today I want to make a fun little card for you using some of my crafty stash and using beautiful Stampin' Up products. It's what I'm loving to do at the moment. I have refound my creativity and I'm diving into new Stampin' Up products and using my old stash as well, because the best thing about crafting is using what we have as well as the new and the old as well. So I just want to show you today a quick little card. Well, it's not quick, it's quick-ish. I'm using Close to My Heart's card bases, which are 4.25 inches by 5.5. That's because I have a lot of them, so I want to use them up. But the good news is that Stampin' Up also make basic white note cards and envelopes, and you can check those out on my online store. They're just as good, or even if not even better than Close to My Heart's. They are slightly smaller, but Close to My Heart is not around anymore, so I am embracing Stampin' Up's wonderful products. Something else I'm using in this card is the oxidized copper paper. It's absolutely beautiful, but quite overpowering, I guess, if you use it on the whole card. So I'll show you a way that I'm using it, but I just wanted to give you a quick look and show you what it's like as a whole sheet. And it is on the pricier side, but as I said, I don't use it as a whole sheet. I just use it as bits and pieces, and that's fantastic. So what we need for this project, friends, we're doing a bit of a mixed media thing, a roll up my sleeves. We're doing a little bit of mixed media. I'm using a stencil. I'm using texture paste, which I think Stampin' Up stock. I don't want to say it 100%. I'm still getting my head around all the products. It's like being at school again, but instead of the accumulated knowledge, you're dropping in at perhaps year 10 and having to learn everything. So forgive me. I think Stampin' Up stock texture paste. I'm also using, to color it, I'm using a shimmer brush as well. Now I know that Stampin' Up have a Wink of Stella, and then you could mix a little to mix the color in. If you have the Wink of Stella and you wanted to use color as well, you could also use mix in a tiny bit of re-inker, I guess they're called. So that's what I'm going to use today. I'm going to put my card base away, and first thing I'm going to do is mix up the paste that's going to go on the card, on the stencil. So the way I store my texture paste, because sometimes I may not use it for months at a time, and it used to go hard until I learned a little trick. So I scrunch up on the top. It is sealed, but it just gets a bit dry. So I scrunch up a bit of Glad wrap and form a ball and sort of put it as a layer on the top there. So there you go. So now I'm going to, at the top of my mat, it's probably all, maybe slightly more. I don't need a lot. Depends on how thick you want the layer as to how much texture paste, but that looks like enough. I'm going to put it all back in, reset it so that it doesn't go dry, and there we go. So I'm going to just put actually I might move that over a bit. There we go. So here's the texture paste. Now to mix that up, oh, that was fun. So we might need a new card, or what I might do is use the back side of it. Okay, so I just want a little bit, it's a light colour. I can't remember the exact colour. So I'm just going to mix that in because I don't want it to be too strong. But this is just a card that I'm going to set aside. I'm not going to use this, so I'm just going to turn it over. There we go, friends. That's what happens. Be careful when you open your shimmer brush, because if it's particularly juicy, it will splatter everywhere. And I think that's fine. I do have, always when I'm dealing with anything mixed media, I always have a trusty paper towel and wipes with me. So there we go. We have the coloured and shimmered texture paste on the palette knife. Now here is the stencil I'm going to use. Now what I want to do is have this effect. I don't want to have it over the whole page, a whole card base. I sort of just want to leave a little bit. I don't, but I don't want to cover the whole lot. So just adhere whichever way you like. There we go, and yes, I have enough. And if you don't feel that you have enough texture paste, just sorry friends, I've still got my cough. My husband read something the other day that it perhaps was 100-day cough, and I'm thinking, we've had it for about 40 days now, only 60 more to go. I've given up trying to wait until my cough finishes to do something, because it just doesn't seem to be happening. So you'll have to bear with me on the videos, friends, while I take sips of water. There you go. So it's a bit like laying concrete. I've never laid concrete before, but I'm imagining that's how you lay concrete. So we've got the stencil on. Now let's lift it off. So that's dirty. It needs to be put away and on and cleaned. I'll show you quickly how we do that in a moment. Actually, I'll move the card base over. Now with this, I usually let it dry 24 hours. I don't need to make these kind of mixed media cards in a hurry, and if I want one, I plan. Like I have actually made the base previously, so it was sitting there drying. So I just put it away for 24 hours. You could, if you needed to, use it earlier. You could get your heat gun out. Depends. I find heat guns a bit annoying. I would rather just wait and let it all dry. So I'm cleaning my stencil with a baby wipe. Normally I would run it under a tap, but I just want to get as much as I can off for the moment, because I don't want it to dry. So I'm going to get a bit off. No, that's not working, friends. So do as I say, not as I do. Learn from my mistakes, because you can't, it's not very easy to get texture paste off a stencil. Just go and run it under the tap. There's too much of it there. There we go. That's a big old mess. So let's just not worry about that. Let's just put that aside. And when I finish my video, I will clean it up. There we go, friends. You can tell I don't have my my videos perfect for all the world to see. It's as they come. Okay, so let's get on to the card. So here is the other card base that I have made, prepared earlier. So as you can see, the stencil covering is just a little bit darker than what I've actually shown there. And that's because I added more shimmer brush. So it's very, very individual, and you don't always get the same same way, sorry, the same shade twice. So I'm loving that, and I'm going to do a really simple treatment on the top. So I have cut these into, I think it's 3/4 of an inch. I'm just going to measure it. It's a bit, yeah, 3/4 of an inch. I don't want too much, and I'm going to just dry fit it to show you where I want it to be. We don't want to cover up all of that gorgeous stencil, but I want somewhere for the sentiment to land. So there you go. I think that would be a good option. So let's get our adhesive out. Let's take off the lid. Let's hold it the right way, and because there's a 3D treatment on the card, you need plenty of adhesive to hold it. I'm possibly thinking that maybe even glue will be needed, but the Stampin' Up, this kind of adhesive is very strong. I have been playing with it a little bit and it is quite strong, so I think it will hold. Let's go this way and see. I'm going to test my theory now because I haven't put it on straight. There you go. Let's go this way. Sometimes not easy to gauge when you've got something else on the card. It's not easy to gauge whether or not it's straight. But look, there we go, friends. All straight. And then that one goes this way. How amazing is this paper? I'm thinking I might cut some butterflies out with that. Now the other bits and pieces that I want to go on this little card, I have already cut out. Now I'll show you what they are. I have, sorry friends, I've got everything in a little box so they don't get lost. So I have cut out little flowers, and they're from the Encircled in Nature set there. I have also cut out some florals and some leaves from the Brights paper. See here, I've cut those out. And I've also got a green one out as well because I'm thinking I might need that too. So let's cut some of those out, and then we can have a play and see what works better on the card. So to cut something out from cardstock, just give it a little bit of room around the image. And I find cutting images out from paper wonderful because not only do you have this, extends the use of your papers, which is always good, but at the moment I don't have a lot of Stampin' Up stamps. We're just new demonstrators. We started on the 1st of May and I don't have a lot. So I'm playing with a limited palette, which is absolutely fantastic. Not palette, toolkit. A limited toolkit, which actually I'm loving. It's meaning I'm getting quite creative with my projects because I just don't have a lot of Stampin' Up things, and yeah, I'm going to buy more, but at the moment you buy what you can. So I'm using everything that I have and it's absolutely wonderful. I'm loving it. Here we go. So I'm just going around the edge, and this is just going to give it that pop of green if we need it. I don't know whether we will. We've got the green on the base from the stencil and the texture paste. So we'll actually just see what we need. And then I've also used some ephemera packs. I think it's the all-purpose ephemera pack. I think it's that one. Oh, and I've also stamped out, see here, this one here, I've stamped that out on white cardstock. And I have stamped it in the, what colour is this? Summer Splash. There we go. I've stamped it in Summer Splash, and I'm thinking that I might have the sentiment in Petunia Pop. Let's see. I'm learning these colours. So what I want to do now is adhere this. Now that's going to be the landing place, I guess. So we've got the straight up and down the lines here, and then we're going to have a circle on top of that. So it's all about the layers, friends, and making it visually pleasing. So it's got a little spot here that's not joined up, so I'm going to kind of put that about there, because I think that's where all of my embellishments are going to land. And where is my bone folder? I need to get my bone folder and just really smooth that down, and smooth it down as well with my fingers, with both. Okay, so it sticks because it's actually sticking to the texture paste, that's why. Now before I stick this down, I'm going to stamp on it, but I'm just thinking where I'm just dry fitting it all. So that's where I'm going to stamp my sentiment, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to use Petunia Pink. Petunia Pop, friends. That's a gorgeous colour. And then I can sort of, in fact I might do that now. And I've just realised I put away all of my Stampin' Up blocks. So I'm just going to have to reach across and grab whatever I can find in my block caddy, which is a Close to My Heart block. As you can see, the Close to My Heart ones, the ones I'm used to using, is square on here and then curved. And I have to say, I really like the Stampin' Up ones, but I have lots. So for today's video, I'll just be using what I have at hand. Now this one here, I think I will use a huge thank you. I'm needing lots of thank you cards at the moment. So that's where I can go. As you can see, I've put the dies in with the stamp set so that we don't get them lost. And I've stuck the stamps onto the images, but I've also put a sheet, the acrylic sheet, over the top. Now I saw that on a video somewhere. I'm not sure where, friends. I can't remember. I've been watching a lot of videos showing me how to do things. So I don't need that one. I think I will have this stamp, friends. Stamp block. I've been trialing cleaning up after myself, so that's interesting. Okay, so I think that's where I want it to go. That's where I want it to land. And it's going to be in the Petunia Pop. There we go. I'm just getting used to these pads. Once you get used to them, they're actually really super easy to use. Now move that out of the way. Now we'll just pop a tiny little bit on it. There we go. Huge thank you. And let's lay it down. Ah, perfect. How good is that? Nice, clear, crisp image. And so we're just using Stamp Chamois, which Stampin' Up also carries, but that's a Close to My Heart one. Take the stamp off the block and put it back onto the carrier, because I have noticed, especially these little ones, they get lost very easily. And then I end up with a whole pile of little stamps hanging around like this. Now, friends, which stamp sets do they belong to? Who would know? So So I'm going to just have to wait and see until I find those particular stamp sets to put them back on. They've been there for ages. So I try and put them back on as quickly as possible. So I don't think I need, do I need any more ink? Am I going to ink this up? Am I going to ink, let's ink this up. Okay, this is interesting because I have not done this before. So I'm using the stamps pad. No, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to work. So, but what I can do to fix that problem is get a paper towel. I don't mind the line, it's just way, way, way too wet. So let's, oh yes, actually that's really good. I love that. There you go. So that's actually turned into be quite a happy accident. So the base I've just smeared on the bottom, and that's provided a really good line. I like that. Friends, there you go. Sometimes accidents can make the best craftiness. Let's go down the bottom, and it's actually already drying, as you can see. So, and I don't want to touch it because I want it to dry. So it's telling me that these ink pads are really, really juicy. So I'm thinking that with the clear embossing powder, you could actually use these pads with the clear embossing powder because it would be so wet. Anyway, that's just a thought. So I've adhered those on, and now I want to embellish with my little bits and pieces. I did have a dry fit before, but now I can't remember what I did. I certainly want one here. I want one here. And I cut this. So this stamp went like this, and I just cut it in half so I can manipulate it a little bit more like that, because I want the images to go around. I do like that, so I'm actually going to adhere that on now like that. See, friends, we're just actually learning this together. New company, new products to play with and learn with, and I can't tell you how much fun I'm having learning new things. So we want that around, but I don't want it to cover. So there we go. I just want to maneuver it a little bit because I don't want it to cover the U. There we go. I also want, now where do I want this leaf? This pink leaf. Oh yeah, in there. Perfect. So let's do this. Not too much. I don't want too much on there because I want to be able to just tuck it in. There we go. Perfect. Now what do we want? Do we want that one up there and then maybe another one? Or should we put one up there? That's better. That's better. I like that much better. Friends, you may not like this. You may do something different, but it's just giving you ideas, friends, on techniques and things, how to design your own cards, how to play with your own cards, and how to use the products that you have, and perhaps a few of the new ones as well. So there we go. Do we need this leaf? Do we need it? Do we need it? Do we need it up here? No. Oh, I don't know, friends. Actually, yes, actually, that little, do we need it? Do we? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I'm on the yes fence rather than more than the white. So tiny, tiny little bit there. Pop it in and move it. Move it. Where do I want it? There. There we go. I am quite happy. There we go. We're done. There you go, friends. Another card made. Stampin' Up products with a few little things that I've got in my stash. So I hope you've liked this. I hope you enjoyed me messing around with a card and experimenting and playing. So I hope that encourages you to have a play, friends. Till next time, happy crafting. Bye.